Hey everybody, this is Team Demon Kitty here. We are back with some more Friendsim. This is going to be a really fun night, hopefully, because of the characters involved in this. Like, I'm hoping this is going to be really good because of that.
Yeah, so also, do check out our coffee, by the way. We have one of those.
Yep, please do check out our coffee. But anyway, let's get started. Let's see. We're getting kind of close to the end here.
This is the second to last route.
Yeah, then we have the epilogue, but yeah. So we're gonna have a long. I think we're gonna do like volume 18 and the epilogue in the same video. I think that's just practical to do that because I don't know how long the epilogue's going to be, but I'm assuming it's not a full chapter. So yeah.
If we're, by the way, wrong about that, and what was just proposed is madness, somebody please warn us that.
Yeah, please warn us if we're proposing absolute madness. I mean, we will have extra time on that night, but yeah. Yeah. Ah, yes. This is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with some totally normal teens who never had. Haha, just kidding, idiot. You're still at Alternia. You just know one of these miserable chuckle foxes is around here somewhere, waiting for the exact right moment to inundue at you with another disgusting dose of friendship. Who is going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Let's do Nike first. I mean, they're both great characters, so you can't really go wrong. I just feel like doing her first. Oh, I that pose. That's fucking great. Oh my god. Like, that's kind of great. Nike is also my type. Also, Dre looks cool too, but, they're both great. I don't know. You okay with doing Nike first?
Whatever.
I know you would voice Drea, so I guess, like, you can narrate for this one.
You're still putting the emphasis on the wrong part of that word.
I probably am, yes.
You are. It's actually Daria.
Daria. Okay, Daria. Daria, yeah.
1 second. Water. Blah. Have water.
Well.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Oh my god, this is starting out pretty good, like the fucking horse statue is, like... The fucking horse statue.
Dim light, the din of a roaring crowd, and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there is still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena.
Well, that's good to know, I guess.
Smash your mother honking face in! There's also something deeply familiar about sports fans.
Blood, such a shame having seats next to the purples. They can be so crude and boorish. Don't you agree? To who would it be nearly this loud? Usually.
You find yourself here, attending a wrestling show or display of muscular theater, to use the troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amicia Erdhen. She won the tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. She's adorable.
She kind of is. She is an axe murderer, but she's adorable.
Is there any...
I should say and she is adorable, not but she's adorable.
You agreed with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar since your buddies and all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscular theater isn't really your thing. It's as over the top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic cover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive.
Oh gosh, she nearly got impaled there.
Every match tonight is taking place within a chain-link cage. Spikes surrounded on both the outside and inside, and just out occasionally from the what? And jut out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. That's not chain link. Again, with the art team and the writing team not communicating in this game. The
Yeah.
overall design, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seems to keep both the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Culpits. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all.
Well,
He's wearing clown makeup in the art. So again,
also he has
writing
an
team.
ICP tattoo of like some food tattoo. So yeah.
It's almost conspicuous how unclowny he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have imbibed in the presence of other purple bloods. Other purples. Whatever. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindingly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably so as to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower-blooded opponent triumphed over a higher-blooded foe.
Well, I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting. But I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theatress performing next. Her name is Nike Mula. She hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she even beat a Violet Blood once. Oh, damn.
Nike Mula, huh? Now that's a name you could befriend. She must be as big a deal as Amesia makes her out to be, because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan.
Oh, look!
I think I may have mispronounced John Cena. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, look! He got her!
You flinch. The purple blood finally managed to get his quarry in his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch, and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to an uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out ever. Ugh. All of a sudden you think you really need to go, get a bathroom. You mean use the snack. You mean you'll be right back.
Oh, okay, come back soon. This fight is giving me all sorts of ideas for a new painting. I bet it is. I bet it is.
I like that we had to come on the grounds that we first get Amesia to agree to not kidnap us and extract our blood for painting with. But also, like, Amesia just tackle hugged us on the street. It's not like she doesn't. It's not like she's not, you know, snuggly or anything.
That's true.
You quickly make a break for it, jolting your way through the stands and toward the exit of the arena. But before you make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned violet-blooded guy, wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it.
Okay.
Hey, you, alien! Me, you ask, pointing to yourself nervously? No, the other alien! You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you're the alien whose attention he wants. Man, Slappy, you're an idiot. Like, I know I'm having trouble reading, but that's because my brain is operating at, like...
No, Sloppy's still an idiot. You're not wrong there.
You looking to make a little extra buck? No, not really.
No.
Unless you mean in real life, in which case, yes, I
Yeah.
definitely need money.
In real life, yes, in this game, no.
No, not really. You never spent all that money you won with Azdaja.
Oh.
Okay, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably already too famous for your own good. This is true. Friendship? Oh shit, yeah. Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage whilst explaining that he's the promoter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catch grabber. I don't believe him. That sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
As such, famed muscular theatrist Nike has been left with nobody to fight. You will be that nobody, or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nike is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere even your friendship addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay, you've met worse.
Oh, damn.
I love just that poster is just on the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, do you notice that poster?
Yes, I do. I'm surprised that we haven't run into a poster like that that's just the Condesk.
That's true. Like, I kind of like everything about this scene.
I'm somewhat entertained by, like, the one dude.
Yeah.
He takes you into a back room, which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked blue bloods more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite.
Yeah, that would do it.
She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights. Huffing with exertion when the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl.
I'm busy.
He begins to explain that he has brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met.
Do you want to know what happens, sister, to people who disturb my preparations? Do you want to experience, oh my gosh, the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here?
She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look, which distinctly suggests that she has never dropped kayfabe in her life, and has no intentions of starting now. I don't know what kayfabe is.
Make it quick.
The promoter makes it quick.
So let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing.
She seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. You know, I'm sure I've met people whose legs are better than Slappy's.
Yeah, don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pull a Rusty for the audience than subjecting me to this humiliation.
Oh, but you're more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. I don't think that's true.
No.
You have long, much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assure her, waited for an opening such as this to reveal your true passion to the world. To come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons have you thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew. Well, some of us have thirsted for something. The hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you too love to do the muscly thing. That you might just...
Okay, I get it.
She glances over at the promoter and then back to you.
It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being, but is it ready for a butt-clenching, flesh-abrading, knuckle-blistering, muscle-ripping smackdown from uptown? Let me save. I'm gonna say yes. Is there really another answer?
You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say? Let's get this smackdown started.
You've got guts, at least.
She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod.
The match is on.
Then she turns back to you.
Now, sister, we need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions. You will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. The alien invader challenges me in an exhibition match to topple the matriarchy. I think that's what that is.
Mightyarchy.
Mightyarchy.
Mightyarchy. It's not
I
a
was
real
close.
word.
I'm really like Mightyarchy. Okay, I tried. They fight valiantly, showing a trailing display of strength. But in the end, as is right and proper, the noble hue of the Hemo spectrum prevails again. Oh my god. Hurrah! Oh
She
my
starts
god.
flexing and showing it off for an imaginary audience before turning back to you.
Any questions, sister?
Yes, actually, you do have a couple questions. First, will you die?
No. Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is the risk we take we who indulge in that most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us, and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well,
I mean...
oh, well, it's rhetorical.
Right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match...
It is a muscular theater term, referring to a backstage for entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the Flexiladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the intergalactic Olympics. Oh, uh, uh,
I should point out that at the actual original Olympics, like in ancient Greece, they did compete naked.
well, well,
It was Greece. What do you expect?
that's true,
Them not.
actually. That's
I am
true.
also sure a great many of the athletes just went on to bang each other because it was Greece and they were into that kind of thing.
Probably. You're probably not wrong. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. No, yeah, you got that. Mostly you were wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense.
Do not denigrate this noble sport with claims of savagery.
Thirdly, you're getting the sense that she's going to be playing a heel, yeah?
The what?
Muscular theater, performers generally fall into the category of face or heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality.
What part of my personality is unlikable? Honestly, none of it. Do you dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring in thunderous applause and admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe?
You tell her you know what, she can be both the face and the heel, and you'll be just...
Subjugated under my heel?
Yes, exactly. Hey, Mula, chatting time isn't over. You're up. She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to your entrance on the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of champion and a leg of her own design, she's all ready to get the competition.
Got
A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue Ruffy annihilator in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nike Moolah! Nike approaches the cage to thunderous applause, raising her arm and soaking in all the praise. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be common ritual for her. She steps through one of the cage doors, and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted, she awaits you. As the announcer begins a new intro speech, you step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have the messed up low blood alien! How has this absurd mockery of life not been culled yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands and barbed foot of the Grand Nike! A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruit. Somebody throws an entire piano at you.
Well, I mean...
Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you.
So, You come here, alien, to prove your kind are superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species.
Yeah, you shout, your kind is so superior to trolls.
And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiasts?
She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand and gesture to you. They boo. I have to say, Slappy doesn't look very superior to me.
No. Is this sorry specimen the best its planet can offer?
More boos. You counter that you came more than prepared to tackle the, Mightyarchy? Yeah, that.
So you claim to be prepared. But are you prepared to face these 24-inch slither needles?
She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode.
Damn. So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow.
You're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the audience a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nike grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about this move being called the Spiky Nike. Once she finishes her ascension, Nike deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down toward you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. Might have been the first thing I thought of. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" as you feel a light trickle down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood between the neon lighting. Lighting and distance. They probably just think it's just rust. It's rust colored and not a mutant red. So at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for you is time to think about your next move, because Nike pivots on her heels and charges at you. This time she's going for a more theatric throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on her horn, in your struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you're delighted to find that her grip loosens, and you go tumbling over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she let you get away with that one for the sake of show, or if you just slipped out of her sweat-soaked palms, but you're going to charitably assume the former. She turns to face you, grunting, baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist and then sending it barreling toward your fragile human nose. Human is a generous description of what Slappy is, but okay. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it.
All you've done is avoid me, coward. Where is your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you low to face my true blue, muscle-bound beauty?
You take this as your cue to attack, and instead you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, you swear.
Fool, there is no running or hiding from Nike Moolah. Stand and fight.
She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, least of all you, but you think you can pull something cool out of this. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and use the slight amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard you off. Yeah, they probably should have drawn that correctly if they were.
They should have.
Sorry, that's bugging me. With an exuberant grin, you go flying toward her, arm held out for a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her own arm and whop! When you wake up, you're lying on what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nike training on one of those leg press machines you always saw in gyms but never had the courage to attempt to use. She's wearing an exercise outfit which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout.
You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I have spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time, waiting for you to open your eyes.
Oh God, how long have you been out?
About 40 minutes.
Phew, that's not so bad, is it?
Perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched. I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a Rusty has towed me longer in the realm of Mortal Kombat. You are weak, sister. Offensively so.
She slams her foot forward with such velocity. The weight on her on the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swig from a bottle, and then approaches you with fire in her eyes.
What do you have to say for yourself?
You scuttle backwards, proffering only a sheepish smile. You're, sorry, you guess?
Yeah, Joey was much better at muscular theater than Sloppy is. Like, a billion times better. And she actually put effort in her costume. So, yeah. I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for theatrics, an appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul, filled only by the most intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you. Behold, the Broadmuseum.
You obediently cast said gaze around. This room is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembles exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth, but there's plenty more that looks far more alien and deadly.
Well,
a treadmill which appears to throw the runner into a vat of acid if they fall off, a series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon, 3 different varieties of Iron Maiden, each more horrific than the last. This is presumably Nike's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. I wonder if Ardata has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her.
that's kind of true. There are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forged myself, into beings of adamantine strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong, and your will of iron, yours will be an unquenchable might.
She extends a hand to you, her jaw set.
Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to us heights of muscular perfection.
There's a look in her eyes that you have never seen before. One of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it?
I feel like this is a good way to die, but at the same time I really want to take it.
You're the one with the mouse.
I mean, I know that we're gonna die if we do, but I also want to. I'm gonna
You
say
actually don't know, but
hesitate because I'm pretty sure we're gonna die if we try to.
go
I
with
don't know.
whatever you want, honestly. Like, look, here's the thing. Trying to be rational in this game half the time doesn't actually get us good results. Just go with whatever you want.
I'm gonna be honest here and pick what I would do, so I'm gonna say take her head. It might bite me, but it worked for Kairava's
You,
route, so
you take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing.
excellent. I knew you had the spark. Now to make a flame, to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it bursts into the roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come.
She leads you to the treadmill and the deep, bubbling pit of acid that the artists couldn't actually be bothered to draw directly behind it. You nervously step on.
We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can't run no longer.
She starts up the machine. She gives you a nice, breezy jogging pace at first, but the treads quickly begin to whir away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill.
Come on, sister, grit your teeth. Put some first sinew into it. Frost sinew. Frost
Actually.
sinew. Sorry. If you're not evacuating your acid tract by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough.
Odd that she uses a treadmill. Like, generally, if your goal is to build up maximum muscle mass, cardio isn't actually that helpful.
Yeah?
Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving ever faster, and you can almost feel yourself slipping. Got to hold. Ugh. You lose your grip and go flying backward, narrowly grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling into it. Your toes singed by the acid. Youch! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side. Hissing, Nike stands over you, plucking her tongue.
Top speed 12 miles per hour.
That's good, right?
For a bronze blood. Next test.
She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as a rusty's. Your lungs are gold at best. Your legs an unexpected cerulean, all the while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further.
The desiccated corpse of my ancestor could do better than this.
You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. I will say, cerulean bloods, at least some of them, do have excellent legs.
They do. They do. Are you going to inject dismay fluid all night long? Or are you going to whoop it up?
You go toe to toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it.
Shape up or get ejected into the nearest solar execution barge.
You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise.
Your jazz hands are terrible.
By the time an hour is up, you're panting and huffing desperately for a break. Nike finally relents.
Your reward for staying alive thus far. Stay hydrated, sister.
She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that gym buffs are always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing alien substances ever hurt you before? But when the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk?
Nutritious and delicious.
You keep chugging it. You need the liquids, foul though they be.
Is Gatorade mixed with milk a bad combination?
1, yes. 2, Gatorade isn't actually good for hydration.
Yeah, I've never tasted Gatorade with milk, so I wouldn't know.
I haven't. You think I have? Why would I have tried that?
I just I mean, if you get the right flavor of Gatorade, it wouldn't be that bad. Maybe this is
Really,
like a bad
actually,
flavor to mix it with like orange or something.
just stick with the milk. Milk is actually a perfectly good sports drink on its own. Chocolate milk is even better.
Yeah, it kind of is. Hot chocolate
If you
milk.
don't mind caffeine, Mongolian milk tea with salt is better still.
That sounds like something I'd really enjoy. Alright. Lactose breakover. Let's continue.
She next leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked, it just has a blunt, bumpy surface on the inside.
Get in.
What?
Get in, sister.
You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden, and the doors clamp shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the maiden opens.
Pressure resistance about all level. These results are surprisingly adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work.
This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude, as you continue to, just barely, persevere through everything she throws at you. Like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises.
Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now.
A rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up the pace.
Go, go, go. We'll make a fuchsia medalist of you yet.
Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster.
Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones.
After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken. Your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and
You still there?
my apologies, Discord booted me.
Oh, damn. Your vision blurs. It cut off there.
Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet.
Get up.
You glance weakly at Nike, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead you see her crouching down and offering you her hand, wearing a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet.
Oh my god, that smile. Oh my god.
The look on her face now resembles pride, and when she claps a palm down on your shoulder, it only kind of hurts.
You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke underneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are no more work. You are no mere workout partner. You are a workout friend.
A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. This feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. This is real and true, and this light will never ever leave you. As you bask here in the satisfied, sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize that planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmoses come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever.
I think Dirk would probably agree with that. Oh shit, we got the good ending without like on the first try. I do trusting my gut and like picking the things I would actually pick for the good options. Like, damn. Alright, on to Daria's route, I guess. I'll narrate this one. Daria, but I keep botching that, I'm so sorry.
Well, you didn't grow up watching the show, and I did.
No, I did not.
The fact that my voice is low-key shot is actually going to help with this.
Your feet drag as you walk, every lip heavy and slow, and your thoughts are cloudy and dull. Your palm husk is filled with unanswered texts. You feel guilty about this. In the back of your mind, where real feelings live, crammed together, because the foot of your mind is too busy being lethargic and numb. Being a bad friend goes against the core tenets of your beliefs, but answering text just seems like too much effort. This is like me, but with phone calls. I'm like the opposite, like I prefer text. But yeah, you're not sure where this particular malaise came from, just the usual friend-making animus that drives you is still there, but it doesn't feel strong enough to overcome how tired you are from everything else. You can't quite remember how it felt to care that much about companionship and camaraderie. In fact, right now, you can't remember how it felt to care about much of anything. Your thoughts drift to fantasies of driving your car to the uninhabitable Alternate desert until you run out of fuel, and perhaps letting the sun have its way with you. It could be part of that feeling that you've almost made all the friends there are to make, and that there's little left for you to do on this planet. It could be weeks of trauma catching up and sinking into depression to protect you from thinking about it all. Either way, it just feels like so much effort to do anything you'd sort of welcome oblivion. You'd sort of welcome oblivion if it showed up right now to offer you its sweet embrace. Your listless walking has taken you into a familiar neighborhood, the cerulean part of town. You smile as you reminisce, sweet memories peeking through like beams of sunlight through the fog of your apathy. Not far from here is Malik's Hive, with all its hacking equipment and charming upper middle class atmosphere of entitlement and commonplace mixed with vaguely socially aware concern. And though you've only seen pictures of it on Chitter, you know that Remla's hipster art studio Hive is also in the neighborhood. And one block over is Ardada's place, which gave you your gruesome and troubling introduction to alternative social mores. It did. One taught you love, one taught you patience, one taught you pain, or something like that. The hive you're closest to is actually L-words, and wait, is there a troll just like passed out in like a pool of like either water or vomit? I guess there is.
Yeah, they're passed out drunk on the street.
I've. Oh, okay. The hive you're closest to is actually L-words, and as you shamble over, you realize that a lot of other trolls seem to be converging here too. Fishing out your palm husk, you see that the unread message from L-word is an invitation to a party at her place. I mean, that's pretty good. I'd go to a party at L-word's place. Looking around you, you feel a flame of your old desire to meet and greet rekindling in your heart. There are plenty of trolls here that you haven't met yet, plenty of opportunities for friendship. The now roaring fire in your belly feels a little artificial, like someone just injected you with friend-making hormones to flood out your regular human melancholy, but you're not going to complain because this is vastly preferable. As you're walking briskly towards Elward's hive, you spot a troll lurking in the shadows by Elward's back door. Curious, you approach, and then when you get closer, you can spot the jade green in her outfit. Although there's not much of her blood color in comparison to what most other trolls seem to sport, because she's mostly wearing black spikes, which is a good outfit, usually.
Ugh, it's you.
Mm.
Guess it makes sense you'd be here. You're probably friends with Elward, huh?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're friends with Allward, but you didn't come here for the party, you're just here in the neighborhood. You try to mimic Daria's disaffected slouch. Darius, sorry. It's not hard, as you just channel the you from about 60 seconds ago who's very disaffected indeed. From the approaching arc of Daria's eyebrow, you think you're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, parties are lame. Most parties are anyway. This one might be cool. Elward's pretty cool.
Elward is pretty cool.
I mean, she seems alright. Also, I'm going to point out that they said she was mostly wearing black and spikes, but she isn't. Spikes, but she's not wearing that much black.
Yeah.
Again, art team and writing team
Yeah.
communicate better. I don't think she's that cool. I just think her hair and clothes and personality don't completely suck as well.
You tactfully don't comment on the green blush to Daria's cheeks when she's talking about Elward, nor the way she keeps glancing at the door like she's hoping someone will invite her in. She's clearly trying to sneak into this party and doesn't have an invite. When a branch snaps in the bushes, Daria startles and looks around shiftily. You wonder if she's supposed to be out on her own this far from the caverns and all.
I'm not a baby like one, sure. So what if I snuck out? The cloister rules are so lame. Branya is so lame. I can't believe Elwood used to hang out with her, but I guess if she hadn't befriended Branya, then I never would have met her. It's hard to meet non-Jade Bloods in the cavern. All the time you're underground with nothing but Lucii and grubs and the same stupid Jades every day. Sucks down there.
Daria's imitation Grumpcore bracelets clunk as she folds her arms over her chest. Her heavy makeup makes it look like her eyes are twin black holes, where all sense of fun and caring about things must go to die. She's giving you a marked constant from how Brody talked about the caverns, with the peace and quiet and safety they offer compared to Alternia's surface. And other than that, time Lanero nearly killed you in a cave, that was in that time you were nearly trampled by a rampaging Lucis, you remember liking the caverns.
You would think that. I don't know why I thought you might be cool. You might be friends with Elward, but you're also friends with, Grania and Lanera. They're the two most boring trolls on this planet.
You can't help but feel slightly defensive of your friends. Sure, Lanera is Lanera, but you wouldn't call her boring. Yeah, I wouldn't really call her boring. And Branya is very fond of rules, it's true, but she can hang.
Whatever. This conversation is dumb. I don't care if you can't get me into the party. Nothing matters anyway. Just make your stupid choice and get on with it.
I'm gonna save. Oh, let's get her into the party. I don't know. It'd be nice to help her.
I can't conceive of how telling her to go home is going to end in
Yeah,
friendship.
also, I want to go to this party.
Then again, really stupid shit has worked for us in the past in this game.
Also, I want to go to this party, so... what the hell. It's not your job to keep anyone in line, and it's not like you have a great understanding of why even the older Jade Bloods need to stand their ground anyway. If Daria wants to sneak into parties and get into trouble, who are you to say no? Daria expresses no pleasure at your decision to get her to the party. She just shrugs and rolls her eyes. You shrug and roll your eyes back. You can play the role of disaffected teen with the best of them. You take her around the front door. Hey, you're looking forward to seeing Elward again. When you met her, you didn't have nearly as many friends as you do now. And in retrospect, you know you came off as kind of sycophantic. Wouldn't it be great if you could introduce Elward to the new, popular, and knowledgeable you? As you're walking up the steps, a huge shadow dwarfs you. You look up to see Chihu. Oh, yeah, that's. I'm really glad we went to this party. Of all trolls grinning above you, I'm glad we went to this party. Well, hey, little one. I remember you. And who is this new little one you've got with you? Chihu switches her interest from you to Daria. Daria grinning down at her. Daria isn't huge for Jade blood or anything, but she seems absurdly tiny with Shahoot living down at her like that. Her face remains impassive and bored, but she scuffs one of her big black boots on the ground and twists one of her spiky bracelets around on her wrist. Cute. Don't see many little jades outside the caverns. I've always found greenies fascinating, so devoted to the continuation of the species. What a holy mission. She moves slow and lazily like she has all the time in the world and no conceivable reason to rush, and reaches out to pat Daria's shoulder. She lets her hand linger, one claw resting against Daria's neck. Oh, okay. I mean... Ain't it a dangerous proposition to be so far away from your green brothers and sisters? Unless you're hiding something in those pretty veins. A slimy chill runs down your spine. Daria seems frozen onto the spot, staring straight ahead at Shahoot's bosom in front of her. Did I read that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You think Shahoot is joking, but it can be hard to tell with clowns. Their humor isn't just so much more highbrow. It's just so much more highbrow than everyone else's. Just joking. This looks like a good party, even if L word is too blasphemous for my taste sometimes. See both of you little ones inside. And then she ambles away, bending down to duck inside the door to the party. She has to duck. You hear party sounds, music, and laughter, and clinking drinks, and what could be a sound of someone being murdered, which qualifies as party noise on this planet. It kinda would. It's not a real party unless someone gets murdered. Then the door swings shut again, and you and Daria look at each other. Daria's heavy makeup can make it hard to read her expression, but you can still tell that she's rattled.
You know what? It looks like this party is filled with lame conformers. All these high bloods that buy into the system and do what they're told, even Elwood. We can find something better to do somewhere else.
Yeah, to hell with this party. You're down to find your own fun, especially if that means not putting Daria in the way of potentially murder-happy clowns. Yeah. As you saunter away from the party, you realize that Daria is looking at you expectantly.
Well, you've got this reputation for being all unconventional and weird and rebellious. Everyone seems to think that you're, like, totally fucking with the conventions of society or whatever. So you got any suggestions for cool shit to do?
God, you sure felt a lot of pressure to be quirky, since the world has spread about your manic pixie dream in a million ways. It's not like you're trying to find a vehicle for other characters to project onto, assisting in character growth and insight for those around you, while your impulse decisions in carefully free ways somehow keep you yourself stagnant and forever unchanged. It just seems to sometimes be like that. Anyway, you're tired, and it's daunting to have a punk teen expect you to come up with suggestions for cool stuff. You have a feeling she's just going to shoot down whatever you suggest. You rack your brain trying to think of anywhere for your many adventures that Daria might like. Your think pan comes up with zilch and squat as she started to look bored with you. Confessing that you can't think of anything is probably an option if you want Daria to be your friend. And as exhausted and disillusioned as you feel with your socialite routine, you like her and you want to bond. I don't know which one to pick. I legitimately don't know. I legitimately don't know which one to pick.
I don't know. I know in one of the endings to this route we end up burning down a mall, and I'm just curious to see how we get there.
I mean, the one that I would personally pick is Wander Streets Like Hoodlums, but that's just me. because I tend to wander the street like a hoodlum.
I hadn't noticed.
I mean, I'm gonna pick that one. Here's the thing. Your weirdest and best adventures have happened when you just decide to be spontaneous and just let shit happen. Adventure and coolness are both hard things to plan.
So what are you suggesting? That we just wander?
Yeah, her derisive tone makes you hesitate, but, well, yes, that's exactly what you're suggesting. Daria gives you a long, considering look. You hold your breath, then she shrugs.
Okay, whatever. Sure. Not like I have anything better to do.
Well,
Let's just go.
you meander through the well-maintained cerulean streets, heading downtown. This seems like a good opportunity to get to know your new potential friend, so you start by asking her some fairly simple questions.
How am I? Gee, I don't know. I'm forbidden to leave the stupid caverns of Jade Blood. All I have to look forward to is a life of being forbidden to do things. How do you think I am?
Okay. You try to walk that one back a little. It sounds like Daria is unsatisfied with the Jade Blood setup.
That's one way to put it. You could also say I'm unsatisfied with, like, the whole setup of my species. You've been here for a while now. Don't tell me you haven't noticed every part of our society is transparent bullshit.
You glance around because Daria is right. You've been around for a while, and that means you know enough to know that if the wrong people overheard this kind of talk, you'd both get cold on the spot. But everyone here seems distracted by their own nonsense. Cautiously, you can see that, yeah, you noticed a certain bullshit aroma.
Yep, it all stinks. No one has any kind of real future except for the highest of the high bloods. And actually, I've heard things pretty much suck for them too. You know, I've noticed that in this game, they really couldn't be bothered to come up with quirks for everybody. Like, literally all she has is an up arrow and a down arrow. That's not really a quirk.
Yeah,
Some might say the purple bloods are the most disprivileged class of them all. I know whose music you listen to.
I know too. I know too. Also, what's the most annoying quirk that you've seen in this game so far, aside from Tysius's? Because, like, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable for me to read. I think it's supposed to sound like someone who's half falling asleep every time they talk, which is why it would have been easier if I'd actually been less well rested while reading it.
But, like, beside
Most annoying.
Tysius, who's had the most annoying one?
That's a tough call.
I mean, there's Kairava saying LMAO after, like, every other sentence.
That's irritating.
That's, like, almost all their quirk.
Marvis's quirk was really hard to read for
Oh, yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah, actually, that's true.
Like,
Yeah.
I think mostly because he kept changing the way that his quirk worked.
Yeah, they did.
And if he hadn't done that, like, it's not that any one particular form, also the way he ran words together. So, like, I like Marvis. He's got to be one of my favorite trolls that we've encountered in this game. but also that was, like, actually hurt my brain.
Yeah, I'm gonna click. You're just going to continue to not comment on that one. Instead, you point out the B&J blood. Daria has a purpose beyond just growing up to become fodder of the Imperial Army. Like, you've heard other trolls mention. Surely that counts as a real feature.
Don't get me started. Suffice to say, I'm not exactly hype about the purpose that I'm supposed to have. More like the purpose that was arbitrarily assigned to me. But it's not like I have a choice, and rebelling in any sort of real way would put me in danger of falling. Life here is pretty much just hopeless.
Damn, you wish you had a good counter-argument. You want to give her some words of comfort, but what can you say? Daria's right. Shit's grim.
At least you're honest. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You know, Lynera said you were good to talk to about real stuff. I guess she was right.
You're surprised Lynera is going around talking about you, saying positive things even, but you're more surprised that Daria is bringing her up in a non-derivative context. You didn't know that Daria and Lynera were close?
No. Gross. I hate Lynera. And not in a romantic way. Or well. Anyway, never mind.
Daria looks embarrassed and flustered and also pissed at you. At least you got the subject away from how hopeless everything is, but still, you don't want this friendship to sour. As you're scanning your useless brain for a tactful subject to change, you're saved by the footsteps of a new troll approaching. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I should have brought that up. I feel like I summoned Tazius by mentioning the court.
You did. You have summoned Tyzius.
I am so sorry.
Thankfully, I'm sufficiently tired now that I can actually read her quirk properly.
I'm so sorry that I accidentally summoned Tazius. And as luck would have it, you know this troll. It's Tyzius, which makes sense because your injury has taken you and Daria close to Tyzius' favorite book hive.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? I don't even need to ask. You're obviously making friends with this jade blood. Searching for some dumb shit to do, no doubt. Damn. You're dumb. Let me keep you.
Tyzius looks just as exhausted as you remember. You don't want her to go just yet, because it's been a while since you've seen her. You're always eager for an opportunity to catch up with a friend, especially one of the less murderous ones. I don't know. I'd be okay with catching up with some of the more murderous ones, honestly. Like Shahoot. I was very okay with catching up with Shahoot.
I'm surprised that Thirst. I'm surprised that Shahoot wasn't there with us with Amnesia, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I guess Amnesia might be too young for that kind of party, though.
I meant at the Muscular Theater. I would have.
Oh yeah, the
her
Muscular Theater. Like, yeah, she should have come. She should have gone to the Muscular Theater with us. I think she would have enjoyed it. Then you notice Daria eyeing Tyzius' mug of unidentifiable liquid. An idea occurs to you. You get excited, bouncing a little on the balls of your feet as you introduce Tyzius and Daria to each other. You explain to Tyzius with a meaningful look that you hope she'll interrupt correctly. That you and Daria were just interpret correctly. That you and Daria were just conversing about the more unjust aspects of Alternian society and how hopeless everything seems to be.
Do you mean more unrich aspects? That was a miswork. The M in mean should have been extended.
Yeah.
Also, there was one point where they extended the N. They're fucking up this character's work and it's bothering me. Does Alternian society have aspects that are not unjust? I'm sweeps into studying our legal system, and then I haven't found any.
Daria makes a muffled sound that could be a laugh. You make your verse meaningful look more meaningful. Doesn't Tysius remember the conversation she had with you about justice in the shitty system? The importance of possibly futile work to try to improve things someday? Pissing. Tysius squints at you, then takes a long slurp from her mug.
Hey. Yeah, I remember.
You wave your hands around. Now we're talking. Tysius is one of the few friends that you've made that seemed to not only notice that shit was fucked, but wanted to dedicate herself to unfucking the shit as much as she could. Of course, many of your dear friends try to make the world a little better in various clumsy, interpersonal, distractingly alternating ways. You think of Shisha striving for her music even when it pits her against Time Ones. And the baffling but sweet ways that Cardinal and Azaja and Gaelic and Tagora care for each other, and Fozer's commitment to political wait. Why did you think of that guy? He's a total shill for the Condas. Because in another timeline he was a communist. That's why. Or another thing. I don't know what the fuck happened to Fozer. That's never fucking explained. It was just some 1984 shit. We don't know what the fuck happened to Fozer. That is never fucking explained. I don't know if it will be explained. Anyway, Tysius has a big picture mentally and a cause that she believes in, and the simple fact that she hasn't yet completely given up is inspiring. Daria is struggling with feelings of despair, so maybe Tysius could talk to her about the work that she's been doing.
I'm surprised that Marvis wasn't brought into that, considering that Marvis is doing, like, revolutionary music.
Yeah, I think Marvis and Daria would get along. Also, I think Daria probably listens to his music. Oh wait, I just realized Marvis and Daria interact in, they don't interact for real long, but they briefly interact in, Hiveswap.
She literally said that Purple Bloods are the most disprivileged class.
Yeah.
She absolutely 100% listens to Marvis.
Yeah, she definitely does. Yeah.
What? I'm not struggling. It's whatever. I don't even care.
Daria kicks the ground sulkily. Tysius looks her eyes lingering on the jade symbol on her shirt and her spiky black jewelry, then sighs.
Sure, you don't care. I went through a phase of telling myself that too. I thought it would make it easier to deal. But no.
Tysius pauses for another mug slurp, and he thinks she might be enjoying the opportunity to monologue a little bit. Daria huffs.
The only thing that helps, and I'm not even sure that helps is the right word for it, is finding something to work on your own. And try and make shit less. But there's nothing I can do in my corner. By the way, if my brain gets stuck in Tysius mode again, I am blaming you for it.
I'm sorry.
It's pointless to pretend otherwise. And that goes for everyone. Like, this whole system is designed to help high bloods stamp out dissent in every corner. One troll can't do anything against something like that. Technically, the system is designed to ensure that only the strongest and most ruthless survive so that they can have a successful spur session.
Pretty
But
much.
okay.
They don't know that, though. Tysius' eyebrows twitch as she stares at Daria, clearly peeved at being interrupted. Oh no, this could be going better.
Well, no shit. What are you taking me for? I'm not saying that all it takes is standing up and fighting for what's right or something stupid like that. That's obviously a surefire way to get cold. Well then what are you saying? How can you even know whatever piddly little action you're taking will change anything? It won't.
It won't.
I can't tell you the future, dumbass. No one can give you a guarantee that any kind of action taken will be ultimately effective. You have to decide for yourself that it's worth to try anymore. Why would you think it's worth it when everything around us confirms that nothing will ever change? I can't believe you're calling me dumbass when that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I kinda have to agree with Daria here. Like, Tysius is overly optimistic and almost certainly ineffectual.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Daria too. I was just about to say, like Tysius has good intentions, but it's not gonna work. Tysius looks like she's about ready to throw the contents of her mug at Daria's face. Knowing trolls, she'd probably follow up with the mug itself. This is not the conversation you'd hope for at all. You step in before things can get any more heated. You tell Tysius that you're sorry that you didn't fog her down just so her ideas could get shit on. You turn to Daria, who is staring at both of you with a defiant look on her face as stubborn set to her jaw. This kid, she's just so dead set on rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her anything, with even the faintest whiff of authority. You really thought that maybe all that attitude could be channeled into something productive that would also help her feel better and possibly give her a sense of purpose. You're not mad, just disappointed.
Did she just try for the Vriska, a semi Vriska hair flip?
I think so. I think so.
Respect.
Yeah.
Don't give me that look, okay? I was just stating my opinion. But I guess I could have been less of a bone bulge about it.
You're pleasantly surprised that Daria more or less apologized. Tysius looks mollified too.
This shit just makes me so angry. Angry and sad and helpless. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself when I really have to think about it. Bingo, unfortunately. I feel that, again, you fucked up with not extending the M. Jesus, who edited this? I feel, actually, no one edited this. I just answered my question. I feel the same way. I don't think there's any getting around the helplessness. But what I was trying to say is that working on something that might help fix things today makes that feeling a little less bad. So what you're saying is that it's just about making yourself feel better? Well, put it like that. It's bad. I believe I'm working on things that might affect change someday, even if I'm not around to see it. You won't change, Dick. This
No.
is a completely top-down totalitarian system. You can't reform your way out of this.
No,
Because
you can't.
unless you're at the top of the system, you can't just, there's always someone who can just overrule you by waving their hand. And if you are at the top of the system, chances are, unless it's a hereditary monarchy and you're prepared to kill anyone else who might inherit it, there's someone below you waiting to take your spot.
That's true.
You skipped through it, but it
Oh,
also
shit.
said, but also, no, I know what you said, but also, yeah.
I mean, what you said is true, like the monarchy thing, like it's true about attorney. It's like you're not gonna change shit from within the system. It's not built for that to be possible.
Yeah, no, you'd have to be at the top of the system. So, Mikhail Gorbachev, we actually kind of met, oddly enough. Did reform the USSR and ended up, it ended up in the breakup of that system, and later things got really fucked, but that's because of
Yeah, but it's kind of, yeah. Hello? Hello? You still there? Hello? Hello? Oh shit, there's a slight bug here. Hold on a second, everybody. Everybody just hang tight. Okay, I think
Can
we're
you hear
back.
me now?
Alright, we're back up, sorry. Yeah, it just, my internet went out for a second. But we're back. It's all good.
Gonna have to reshare the stream, I can't see shit.
Oh, it did that. Sorry. Yeah, let me fix that. Alright. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everybody. My internet just decided to die on me for a second, so yeah.
I'm still not actually seeing the stream. I'm seeing that the stream exists, but not the... Let me see if this works. Nope, still can't see shit.
It's being obnoxious. Can you see it now?
Nope.
Let me try again. Sometimes I have to hold it on the thing for a few seconds. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Alright.
Most of the time, the M time should have been extended. It helps me sleep at night, too. You sleep during the day! Actually, you don't sleep, period. Trolls sleep during the day!
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
just an inexcusable fuck up there.
Maybe she's, not sure. Maybe she's, tired. Maybe she, I don't know. She doesn't get any sleep during the day, so she has to sleep at, night. You can tell Daria is a bit disappointed by this. Like, she doesn't trust that political rebellion can go hand in hand of making the rebels feel good about themselves. He points out that whether or not Tyzius feels good about her work doesn't make her work itself any less effective. No, there's other things that make her work less effective.
I was about to say, the fact that her methodology is ineffective makes her work ineffective.
Yeah, that's what makes it effective.
Yeah, in the end, the universe doesn't care about how I feel. I'm just one troll trying to do the right thing. Or at least the okay thing. For its own sake, even if I'm right, ultimately, it'll be futile.
It will be.
What the fuck else are we gonna do on this picture? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, Marvis disseminates anti-establishment revolutionary ideas. That's much more effective than any bullshit you're going to do, like, as a reformationist, because ultimately, what you need for a system like this is enough people to reject it that they revolt and overthrow it.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
not going
much.
to win any other way.
Yeah.
You've got me there. Also, don't actually go to Marvis's concerts in person because they're incredibly unsanitary, and also, most people die.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I have just come up with some, like, internal lore about the set number of people who showed up with buckets and who, like, only passed out afterwards. There is actually a core group of Marvis's fan base who do survive every concert and, like, just group bang each other afterwards. And they're just living for the party that is his concerts, traveling from concert to concert, following him, and dedicating their lives to doing this. This is the lore that I just
So basically, Dionysus's followers.
Yes, mayonnaise.
Yeah, that would add up. That would definitely add up.
I'm bored all the time, and there really isn't anything cool to do down in the caverns. I guess during the downtime in my training, I could, I don't know, help you out, maybe. Not that I have anything to offer other than the book hive and the jade oysters. Access to that might really help with my research, actually. Give me... we can talk.
Is it just your imagination, or does Tyzius look a smidgen less tired? The bags under her— no, she still looks pretty tired. The bags under her eyes less baggy, and her back a little straighter, and you think the corners of Daria's lips might be very slightly corked up. Daria turns her possibly a smile from Tyzius to you.
This was cool, I guess. Or at least not so bad. But I don't know if it counts as something cool. So I guess we could keep hanging out until more shit happens.
You know Daria well enough by now to recognize that this for the ring endorsement that it is. You're about to happily agree when Tyzius pipes up.
Just heading, studying, but I'm not tired yet. If you want to defer, I'll put it right along.
Yay! We got the good ending.
Okay, but I actually kind of want to see the bad ending because it was referenced in Pester Quest, and also apparently we burned down a mall, so I kind of want to see that.
I don't know which bad ending it is, but okay, we can try. Oh, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Okay, load. Alright, I'm guessing it's what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's probably it. Because, like, I feel like trying to get her to ditch the party just would have her blow us off and nothing more.
Probably. You tell Daria that you have no ideas for cool things to do because everything on this planet is lame, but she's from here. Doesn't she know any non-lame places to go? Yeah,
I told you, I'm stuck underground all the time. It's not my fault that I'm literally sheltered and never get to do anything fun.
Oops, maybe this is the wrong approach. She seems pissed at you, but then Daria sighs loudly and uncrosses her arms at her chest.
I do know of one place that's pretty alright, I guess. Better than here, anyways. It's far, though.
Not a problem, you've got wheels. You're walking around the neighborhood because, well, you felt lifeless and glum, and your car needs alien fuel, which you've been reluctant to ask someone how to get because you don't want to be told it runs on grub grease or something like that. But now you have purpose again, and you're more than willing to provide transportation in service of your new friendship goal. You take Daria to your car parked a few blocks away, and she directs you where to go. You drive through neighborhood after neighborhood. Though for the Yellow Blood slums where you met Follicle and Cuprum, I don't want to go back there or think about those slums. The busy urban sector where you had adventures with Tagora and the Oscar Indigo Enclave where Gaelic lives. Eventually the buildings get sparse and you think about how you were yearning to drive out into the barren landscape and not die, maybe, but stop and just let it all end. You don't think Daria would take you all the way out here just for you to both meet sweet oblivion, but who knows? Trolls can be kind of hard to predict. Just when you think you've reached a point where there can't be any more city or suburbs left, a rubble of massive old buildings comes into view. It looks almost like a miniature version of the Mediterranean city they're used to, except it's all abandoned and mostly ruined. Nothing around here looks habitable.
Rumor has it that some of the trolls who lived here pissed off the Condex. So she killed this whole town. That would have been way back in the day. It's ancient history now. If there were any survivors, I guess they'd be either dead or up base. Anyway, all these old buildings are kind of sick. There's never anyone else here, and I'm into that.
You drive until she tells you to stop in front of a huge crumbling building, and even though this thing is half gone, you can still tell that it's a mall. Yeah, this is it. This is gonna be the shopping mall I knew. It seems a bit different from the mall you visited with Palopa, and even aside from the fact that it's totally dark and there's no one inside it, it seems more old-fashioned, a lot more like one of your familiar Earth malls. Yeah.
I should point out that her name is spelled Palopa with a Y, not Palopa with a second
Oh,
L.
Palopa, okay. Every dystopian movie you've ever seen has taught you to be extremely wary of abandoned malls, and you feel pretty nervous as Daria takes you up the rickety frozen escalator. It's so dark you can barely see your hand in front of your face. You're trying not to show your fear because you don't want to look like a wuss in front of Daria, but you can't hold back a whimper when your foot lands on a step that makes a distinctive about to collapse noise.
Don't be scared. It's okay. I've climbed all over this place without it, and anything that isn't already disintegrating enough. And there's no risk of calling out here because, well, everybody's already been cold.
She's gentler towards you than you would have expected, given her cynical and spiky demeanor. You swallow your fear and reach the top of the escalator, tell her that it's chill, you just have some horror movie associations. Daria turns and pats you stiffly on the arm. You would never tell her this, but her reassuring manner once she's noticed someone in distress kind of reminds you of Brodia.
It's worth it when you get to the cool part. Come on.
Shit continues to be dark for a while, though. You see some light up ahead. As you get closer, the hall opens into a food court, and you see that the light is moonlight shining through the mostly absent roof. And Daria was right. There is something extremely surreal and cool about a decrepit, empty food court with the roof caved in. Rubble sits atop cafeteria tables, and plastic food trays are scattered on the floor. And, okay, that might be the remains of a troll skeleton still wearing a mostly disintegrated fast food uniform, which is less cool and makes you remember that this place is abandoned because the con desk sent drones here to murder everyone.
You want to know the weirdest thing about this mall? It seems like actual adults used to maybe work here. I've gone through a lot of stores, and some of them are for adult-sized things. And there's a store for just, like, shit the drones bring down. There's army supplies for going off-world, too. If this mall was for adults, it must be really fucking ancient.
Jeez, has it really been that long since there were any adults on this planet? Yes, it has. Even after all your time on Laternia, that still kind of freaks you out. What must that be like, to grow up entirely without adults, to live on a planet that's nothing but kids? Daria gives you a weird look.
What would it even be like to have adults down here, too? That sounds way more dangerous and stupid. Wait, like, did Mindfang shop at this mall at one point? I have a hard time picturing that.
She might
I have a hard time picturing Mindfang shopping at a mall and not just robbing it.
Maybe she did rob it.
Were malls a thing back when Mindfang was a kid? Did she just, like, did Mindfang in her rebellious teen years shoplift from Troll Topic or whatever?
She might have... She might have shoplifted from Troll Topic.
Also, some headcanon here that I think no one will dispute. Mina's hobby on Before Us was totally shoplifting from whatever their equivalent of Hot Topic was.
I think that's... Yeah, I would agree with that. That sounds like a very Mina thing to do.
It's not... You skipped it.
Oh, blah. Right, sorry, let me pull up the... I'm glad we have this whole thing.
It's not like we're all wigglers. Trolls have to grow out of that mindset pretty fast. People have responsibilities or whatever the fuck, at least they pretend to. And there's training and stuff for Jades. We're basically trapped. Maybe you think that a planet of kids would mean you can do whatever you want, but I've never had any freedom. And I'll have even less as an adult. Cloistered Jades aren't even allowed to join the Imperial Army. Instead, we get shipped off to live in isolation. We're forbidden to contribute genetic material to the slurry, and no paling is allowed once we mature. For some, I don't know, bullshit old-fashioned reason that I pretty much don't understand at all. On Alternia, your whole future is decided the second you're hatched. People tell me all the time that I have it lucky as a Jade blood, but I don't feel lucky at all.
Oof, yeah, you agree with Daria about the future she describes sounds bleak as hell.
Right? It's going to fucking suck. And it's so shitty that I have it good. I mean, at least I don't have certain early death in my future, unlike a lot of low bloods. The system is so fucked up, and it's never gonna change, and I hate it here. I just want a way out of it. Maybe when you go back to your home planet, you could take me with you.
The request comes out of left field, and for a few seconds you just blink at her stupidity. At her stupid blah. She's not stupid, blah. I don't know why I write it like that. Even with all the angry black makeup around her eyes, She just looks so sad and lost. You wish you had a different answer to give her, but you tell her that you can't take her back to your planet because you don't know how, when, or if you're ever going to go home. You've been trying not to contemplate the future because on the rare occasions that you do let yourself think about it, existential dread tends to take over.
Dread. Yeah, that's the word for it. The older I get, the more I realize how shitty things are. I try not to think about it, just like you. But it's still home sometimes. And when it does, but it still hits home sometimes. And when it does, I don't feel like angry or rebellious. Instead, I feel completely fucking paralyzed.
This, too, is a familiar emotion to you. You feel for Daria, who has wandered over to the middle of the food court and is staring up for the cave at the moons. She has her arms wrapped around her middle, and the spiky jewelry, a jagged haircut, and big black boots don't do anything to make her look less small. You wish you knew what to say to make her feel better. You've done a decent job at cheering up dejected trolls in the past, but it's hard when you're feeling so crappy about your own situation. You mutter something about how things could still get better, you never know what the future holds, yada yada. She looks at you like she knows just how hollow your words are.
You sound like Ronnie. Next, are you gonna tell me how important Jade Bloods are and what an honor all of this responsibility is? Give me a break. Optimism is for chumps and losers. Keeping grubs safe doesn't matter. The continuation of our species doesn't matter. None of any of us do fucking matters.
You feel your blood getting hot to match the steel that's now in her voice. The sick part of you finds this train of thought a lot more viscerally satisfied than trying to cheer her up, which wasn't working anyway. You stamp your feet, and so does she.
I can't believe anyone bothers trying to carve out a real life in this worthless shithole of a planet. There's no point. We might as well all be culled.
In the back of your mind, you know you should maybe be disagreeing with some of this, but you're too worked up to care. Maybe Daria is right. Maybe nothing matters.
That's fucking right. Maybe I should just quit.
You falter in your righteous fury. Maybe quitting is going a bit far.
Maybe the high bloods that go around causing death and destruction just because they can have the right idea.
This is starting to not sound so great.
What doesn't sound great about it? Who cares if I decide I don't want to be a caretaker and instead I just burn shit down for fun? There's no point to anything, so what does it matter? Who cares?
Daria's hands are balled into fists, and her teeth are bared as she glares at you. You open your mouth, maybe to tell her that you care, even though that would probably sound trite, but no words come out. She scoffs and turns away from you, jumps down on a crumbly-looking cafeteria table.
You know what? Fuck this. Friendship is as pointless as everything else.
She picks up one of the chairs, and you really need to stop being surprised at strength of even the scrawniest-looking trolls, and hurls it at the nearest fast food stall. You thought it was just a random throw at first, but it appears that she is aiming with precision because it crashes into a tank of fuel connected to the oven. You're not sure how alternative cooking technology works, but the stall explodes in a huge green-tinged fireball that knocks you on your ass. You watch in horror from your ass-level vantage point as the flames lick into the restaurants on either side, explosions happening around the food court like dominoes. Daria stands on her table in the middle of it, unmoving as the fire threatens to engulf her.
This is probably the only place I actually like on this whole planet. So good riddance. If it's gone, one less thing to care about.
With all the dust and debris, this mall is coming down fast around you. You desperately want to get Daria out of here, but you desperately want to save yourself more. And Daria doesn't look like she wants to be saved. You make a feeble attempt, going over to her, try to grab her around the waist to get her out of here, but she kicks you hard in the chest. Her steel-toed combat boot sends you flying, and it's once again 0 days since you last broke your ribs. As used to this pain as you are, it still takes you a second of lying on the floor in agony before you can push yourself up to look back at the food court. A wall of fire now separates you from the tables inside. You can't even see Daria anymore. Your heart sinks. Maybe she'll come to her senses and pull herself up out of danger and escape for the caved-in roof. Maybe she'll get out some other way. You stumble to your feet, half thinking that maybe you can find water on this or a fire extinguisher in some part of this mall that isn't burning up. But smoke chokes your lungs, and in your panic, your human survival instincts take over. You dash down the escalator as mall infrastructure starts to crumble around you, and you don't want to abandon Daria, but it's all you can do to get your own sorry self out of there alive. Well, that's the bad ending.
It is, but I wanted to see what would happen, because I wanted to know about that.
Yeah, I kind of did too. So that was Friendsim. Thank you guys for watching. If anyone was, please check out our coffee. If you can, like, no pressure or anything, just like if you want to. And also, please tune in on Saturday for when we complete this game. If you want to see like our finale, and please stop us if you've played this game before and you think that like the epilogue is going to be too much for us to handle in one night. But yeah. Anyway, this is Team Demon Kitty out. I hope you guys have a good night.